Hey guys, and welcome to episode 1 of Surgan's Survival Single Player series. I'm going to call this Season 1 because I want to get a little bit of uniformity behind my titling and my seasons. I know I have a couple of seasons already under my belt, however, I'm going to start over with one and just keep it along those lines with single player and multiplayer being separate. So I was going to go with the Tech World pack, but after looking at the packs, I ended up going with Monster. Monster has everything that Tech World has, plus 63 more mods. If you want to see a mod list, I'm not going to bore you with going over every mod that's in here. I will put a link in the description for the mod list, but let's go ahead and jump right in. And I want to create a new world. You can see I have no worlds loaded up. And I'm going to go ahead and call this SSP Season 1. It's going to be Survival. And here, for the seed, I'm going to go ahead and do Surg's SSP S1. And that way it's Surg's Survival Single Player Season 1. I'm going to leave the world type default because the only other one is super flat, large biomes, or the alternate terrain generation. So I'm going to leave it as default. No cheats and no bonus chest. Of course, leave generate structures on and create it. And here we are. Day 1 in our brand new world. And you can see here we do have our materials in new book. And I don't want to be in cheat mode. I want to be in, I'll be in utility mode, and I will turn the magnet off. So that way the only thing that I have is the trash can. And that's just, I like having access to that. So let's see what we look like for our spawn here. Let me see if I can get up a little bit higher. Looks like we're in some kind of forest. Let's just go ahead and F3 this. Yeah, it's a forest hills. Ah, that looks like a good place to start building our first mining area right there. Or our first hidey hole. Maybe we'll expand upon that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can manage to live, somewhere right in here. So what I'm going to do, because I noticed that I don't have a map enabled. Ooh, food right off the bat. Let's go ahead and just collect these up. So I'm going to relog, enable one of the maps, because I think there's a couple of them that are available, and most likely they're all disabled by default. And then just clear out a little bit of area and do some basic mining. I'd really like to start out episode 1 with something more than just mining. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will meet you guys in our new hidey hole, which will probably be somewhere around in this area. So I've cleared away a little bit of the trees, not a lot, just enough so that I have some ground to work with. And obviously I needed the wood anyway. And I've actually been surviving off monster jerky. And every now and then I get a couple berries. In here, I went, and this is where I'm making my monster jerky, just on the drying racks. I went down and collected up a whole bunch of resources, but I haven't actually, I don't even have a furnace here. So I haven't actually done anything with these resources. And that's just because at the very start, I like to be a little frugal with my stuff. And what I'd like to do is start doubling my ores. And I did get a good amount of Certus quartz and Certus quartz dust. And I think with the dust, I only need 3. And if we look up the uses here, I can make a grindstone. And I just need 3 pieces of stone and a wooden gear. That's not a stick. So that should be easy enough. let's do our wooden gear. And I'm just going to grab one piece of coal. Oh, that's not where it goes. And because one piece does 8, I'm just going to go ahead and let it cook up 8. So we're going to give this just a minute. There's 1. And there's our 3 stone. So actually, I'm just going to put one piece of cobblestone right down here just for now, because I've been blocking this off when I go down mining, and I really don't want any unwelcome visitors. So I should be able to do the grindstone here. And I just need a little bit more wood. Let's go ahead and use this birch here. Make some more sticks and do a crank. And I'll go ahead and throw that right here. Now, you'll notice that I don't have any redstone, and I don't have any gold. I don't have any lead. I don't have anything that required an iron pick, and that's just because I've been running around with stone picks. But I did get quite a bit of iron and some other things. So I have found some redstone. Let me go ahead and show you my mining area down here. Just in case you're following along and you do use this world seed, it's actually quite extensive. Nice. I can always use some calamari, some black dye, or ink sacs. And down here, it takes a little while to get where I want to go. Let's see, I believe it's this way. Yeah. Down here, I actually found a ravine. And you can see it, you can sort of see it right here. But I dug down to it, starting over here, just making a staircase down. And there's a whole bunch of ores that I've yet to be able to gather. And some of them, like these here, the rubies, are going to help me make better tools, but I do need iron to get those. And I believe it's down here where I found the ravine. It's a huge underground ravine. And not that way. So I did find some redstone, but over here is where the ravine is. You can see this goes all the way down. I'm already at 27 here. That probably goes down to at least 10 down there. So I'm going to have a good source of lava, and there is some redstone and gold, and I know exactly where it is. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and grind up some of my ores that I did collect already, and see if we can get a little bit of redstone. And normally what I do is I'll start with, say, thermal expansion, but I've done that before. So if I can, I'd actually, oh, nope, that's the wrong way. I'd actually like to start with IC2. And that's just because, you know, I've done thermal expansion a couple times with Direwolf 20, the Direwolf 20, pack. I've done it with the Horizons pack. It's kind of meant to be done with the Horizons pack, though. What is that sound? I keep hearing that, and I don't know what it is. And now I hear zombies. There should not be any zombies. This place is 100% lit up. There should not be any zombies around. What is that sound? Okay, I gotta go find out what this is. I'm thinking it's over here. Wait. What happened to this torch? What the hell is that? What happened to these torches? Where did you come from? No. Oh, can zombies break my torches? One, where did the zombie even come from? And two, why is he allowed to break my torches? Let me just make sure that I'm lighting this area completely. See, this is the first time playing with the monster pack, and I do have all of the mods enabled except for 3 of the maps. And I'm using the Raise minimap, if I didn't mention it before. I prefer the Raise minimap. So like I said, what I'll go ahead and do is just run back to my little base camp here and start grinding up those ores, and then go ahead and see if I can get some redstone and some other goodies that I needed an iron pick for. And I'll meet you guys back here and we'll get started with the build. So I went and got some redstone, lapis. I have some gold cooking up here that I ground down because I know I'm going to need at least a little bit of it. I have some silver that I put into my grindstone. But there's one other thing that we're going to need before we can get into IC2, and that is going to be rubber. And to get rubber, what you need to do is make some tree taps, and it's just wood, just like this. I'm going to grab 2 because they do have durability on them. And let's see if we can find a rubber tree. The best place for me to spot one is probably going to be up here. And there's a distinct feature that rubber trees have that makes them really easy to spot. Let's see if there's any close by. They are kind of rare, so there might not be any right next to where we are right now. But, you know, it doesn't hurt to look. I think I see one right there. See that right where my cursor is, right where the center is? See those 2 leaves that are sticking straight up from that tree? Normally that's how you can tell that there's a rubber tree there, is because the rubber trees have extra leaves on top. And they just stick straight up. So I'm not sure how far away that was, but, ooh, blackberries. I don't have any blackberries. Nice. I just got a whole bunch of berries. I'm gonna have to come back and pick a whole bunch of these. So yeah, right there. Yep, that's a rubber tree. Now, what you want to do with rubber trees is go ahead and clear away the leaves, because we want to hope to get a sapling, or a couple. And what we're looking for is on the wood there should be these orange spots. I don't see any on this one. Oh, there's one. Now these are resin spots, and if you take your tree tap and right click, you'll get sticky resin. And if we just let that regrow, it'll actually repopulate that sticky resin. Now, one other thing that you can do, and I do advise against it if you plan on keeping a tree, is you can actually right-click again on that spot. And sometimes you get sticky resin, and sometimes it'll do just like it did. See how it disappeared? That means that that the resin there most likely is not going to regrow. Did I get any saplings? I got birch. Let's see if we get any saplings from this, because I'd like to plant one closer to my base, but it doesn't look like I'm having any luck. Oh, there's a couple of creepers and zombies down there. Yeah, I don't think that I'm having any luck. Now, since this only had one spot on it, what I can actually do is chop this down. Oh, there we go. One rubber tree sapling. So not a lot, but one is really all we need to get started with. I don't have an axe. Now, sometimes with this rubber wood, you see there, I got some sticky resin from the wood. Sometimes you will get some sticky resin from the wood when you cut it down. Now, if you plan on, harvesting the resin from the tree, then I wouldn't recommend cutting the wood down, just because once it's cut down, if you place it down again, you will not get those resin spots. But I got the one sapling that I needed. I don't think this is going to... 2 pieces is not going to be enough rubber. I know it's not. So let's go ahead and plant this. Let's give it a nice little bit of room. For right now, I'm going to put it right here. And I should have some bones. Yeah, I'm just going to grab one bone, throw it in here in the grindstone. And let's see how many turns it takes. I don't want to break my crank. Okay. So let's see if we can get just a few more. Nice. One bone meal is all it took to grow this one. And you can see here we have another resin spot. Now this one I am going to let regrow, just because I don't want to get rid of this tree just yet. Not until I have a couple of them. Looks like there's only one resin spot on this whole tree though. Yeah, I'm going to have to cut down these leaves and see if I get some more saplings. There we go. At least one. As long as I get at least one per tree, I'm happy. So let's just put this one right here. Let's see if we get any more. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and tend to these trees a little bit. Try to get a little bit of rubber, and then we can start working on IC2. Oh, another tree. Or another sapling. Sweet. Oh, let's put this one right here. Maybe I want to level this out just a little bit. Clear some of the other trees away from it too. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that too. So I'm doing okay on rubber now. I have 8 sticky resin here, and I'll just go ahead and throw that in here. I have a little bit in there, and I was cooking up some rubber. And just so I don't get snuck up on, I'm just going to go ahead and throw cobblestone there. I need to get a door, but for right now, it works. So the first thing that I'm going to want is, I don't want to keep using the grindstone. So I'm going to want a macerator, which is basically the way that you double ores in IC2. So a macerator, let me see if I can find it right here. I'm going to need some cobblestone. I have that. Some flint, easy. Electronic circuit. So I'm going to need some copper cables, which is made with rubber. That's why I needed that. And uninsulated copper cable. Well, the first thing that I'm going to need to get those copper cable is obviously some copper. Let's just do... we'll do 3. I'm also going to need quite a bit of iron. And just a little bit of wood. I don't need the bone. So the first thing I'm going to need is some sticks. And go ahead and place them like this. And take my iron and make myself a hammer. A forge hammer. Now what I can do with the forge hammer is I'm actually just going to use it to make a few more iron plates. That should do for right this second. I'm also going to need some copper plates. Now you can see here it has certain amount of uses. Once that's gone, it's gone. So if we look at, where was that macerator? If we look at the macerator, I'm going to need a basic machine casing, which is made with those iron plates. So I'm going to need at least 8, and I have 6. So there's 8. And we'll go ahead and make our casing. We're also going to need, with the electronic circuit, we're going to need at least 1 more iron plate. So we'll go ahead and make that. And then for our cabling, we need to cut it into strips. Basically the cabling. So I can take the plates and cut it, but I need to make a cutter. So I'm going to need 3 more iron plates and 2 pieces of iron. So I have my 2 pieces, and I can make 3 more plates. And just go just like this, and the 2 pieces of iron, and I get my cutter. And I can take my copper plates and cut them into cables. Take my cables, add my rubber, and now I have the copper cabling. And I'm going to need a little bit of redstone. So copper cabling just like this, redstone, and my iron plate. Gets me an electronic circuit. So I have that. I'm going to need 2 cobblestone and 3 flint. Electronic circuit, basic machine casing, and macerator. Now I'm going to go ahead and, you know what, I'm just going to pick this up. And I'm going to put my macerator, yeah, why not? I'll put it right here. Now the macerator needs power. There's a couple different ways that we can power this. The simplest is going to be to just throw a little bit. Let me see if I have any ores here. Just some iron. I know I'm going to need iron. The simplest way to power it is to throw redstone in here. And you can see it eats up the redstone, gives it a little bit of power, not a lot. So if you have a lot of redstone and no other infrastructure, that's one way to do it. Now I don't have a lot of redstone, I just have a little bit, so I don't want to do that. There's another way that we can get power. And if we look here, the simplest, other than throwing redstone, is going to be the generator. There's multiple ways. We can use a geothermal generator that runs off lava, but we don't really have lava. Water mills, that'll work. It runs right off water source blocks around it. Solar panels, pretty self-explanatory. Windmills, those need to be really high up to be really effective. Nuclear reactors, radioisotope, thermoelectric generators, and semi-fluid generators. We'll get into them a little bit later. Those are a little advanced. So let's just do the regular generator. So to make a generator, I'm going to need a couple more plates and an iron furnace, which is just a furnace surrounded by 5 more plates. So let's go ahead and grab some more iron here. And we'll just grab 8. And go ahead and make the plates. And what I'll go ahead and do is just grab this furnace right here and use this one. If I need another one, I can make another one. So there's our iron furnace. We have our 3 plates. But there was one other component, and that's the battery. So I'm going to need a tin cable. Easy enough. We made cables already. So let's make a tin one. Where is it? Here. So we take our tin, forging hammer, make a plate, and cut it. And then we just need to add 1 rubber, because I only need 1 of them. At least right now. And if I pull up the generator again here, we see we need some tin item casings. Now the way that you make these is you take a tin plate and just hammer it again. And don't think I grabbed enough tin. Well, we'll just grab a little bit. And hammer it. Tin plates. And hammer them again. And you get 2 each. So we'll just put those just like that. Grab a little bit of redstone. And our cable. And iron furnace. And our plates. So there we go. Now we have our generator. So we have a way to actually generate power. Now you can connect these with wires, just like the wires that we were making, but I actually am just going to place it right beside it. If it's placed right beside it, then it will power the machines right next to it. And in here, we can just throw in some charcoal. And the reason that I'm using charcoal is because I'm in a forest. I have an abundance of wood. And if you look here, I don't have an abundance of coal. So it'll work just fine. And now this is nice and charged up. And so we can go and throw all of our iron right into the macerator. Now it's slow, but it works. It's a lot faster than sitting there doing a crank by hand. Do I have any more zombie flesh? No. Okay. So we have a way to get the crushed iron ore, but we still need to cook it. And I don't want to use my coal for that either. I mean, I'm already using charcoal here in the generator. So what we can do is make an electric furnace. Really easy. Another electronic circuit, another iron furnace, and a little bit of redstone. So let's see what we need to get that done. So we're going to need at least 4. And I don't think that I'm going to need any more tin, but I am going to need a little bit of iron. So 5 for the iron furnace, 1 for the electronic circuit, and where was it here? Electric furnace. And that should do it. We just need a little bit of cobblestone to make another furnace. And let's go ahead and pound that down. There's our iron furnace. Now you can use these iron furnaces without converting them to electric furnace. A regular furnace will cook 8 items with 1 piece of charcoal, and the iron furnace will actually cook 10. So if you don't have a lot of infrastructure or not really ready to generate power, you could easily do with just an iron furnace to stretch your coal a little bit. And I'm going to need a little bit of copper. So again, we're going to make plates and cut those plates down. And go ahead and add our rubber. And that's why I needed a good amount of rubber. A little bit of redstone, our last plate, electronic circuit, our furnace, and what else do we need? 2 redstone. We have our electronic furnace. And so now I can just place this, I'll just place it right here. And so I can take all of this crushed iron ore and throw it in here, and it'll go ahead and cook up for me. So I'm going to go ahead and go through all of my ores here, and I think this is actually a good wrapping up point for this episode. So what I'll do is between this episode and next, I'll go ahead and do a little bit more mining and go through and process all of my ores into metal, so that way we have them and we're able to use them. Because you can see here I have quite a bit, and I don't have a lot of lead or silver, and I also don't have a lot of redstone, so I got just enough. I'll probably work on a little bit more rubber. I have a couple of trees out there. Looks like they're growing their resin again. And the nice thing is the zombies keep giving me armor. So at least that's working in my favor. So I'm going to go ahead and do that between this episode and next. If you do enjoy my Horizons videos, don't worry, they aren't going anywhere just yet. So I will be doing both seasons at the same time. I hope you guys enjoyed, and with that, I will see you guys later.